Whoa, hand on the thigh. Holy shit.
Obama.
Holy shit. I was going to talk about how gay this is, but I didn't even get to it. Y'all saw it first. Y'all clocked it before I could even talk about it. They gated the audience off in the splash zone. Yeah, I think it's funny. I want to know whose idea the audience was. I think it was Trump's. I think Trump was pitched what Adin Ross wanted to do, and it was this exact thing, except there wasn't a crowd, and he was like, it's weird. People have to be clapping. How does anyone know anyone's watching if there's no one in the room? Like, it's not like a shot, reverse shot style interview one-on-one. They're sitting next to each other at the computer. Like, I think Trump would forget that he is in front of a live audience if there weren't people in the room. Like, legitimately. I think he had to have this. It's dystopian. It rocks. Yeah. You got, like, grandma on life support and shit.
What the heck is going on here, huh?
What's going on here? What's going on?
Well, today is good.
He's literally like, what's going on? He's going to talk about grabbing pussy again. Yeah, you might as well. Mr. President, you have skibbity riz. Can I sniff your seat? Yeah.
Stream I've ever done, first of all. And I want to say thank you for doing this, seriously.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Is this old, or did this literally happen the day before he goes live with Donald Trump? It's got to be old, right?
What the fuck did I do to you, bitch? Kill yourself, you fat whale.
Ate him up, mother.
We're going to get some good ratings. Everyone thought this was going to be fake today, but, we proved them wrong. So.
Okay, so I also thought it was fake. I assumed he was just gonna have an impersonator on and it was just gonna be cringe. But I knew it was potentially real.
In the living room of Mar-a-Lago.
You can't fucking hear Trump. He didn't even edit the audio before he posted it. Like, this was the problem on the stream and he didn't even change it.
Be ever done? So you're the first, just about.
Thank you.
And we'll have a little fun today.
Let's
and
do
my
it.
son Baron says hello. He's a great young guy,
Oh yeah, his son watches Adin Ross, Barron Trump.
but he's a big fan of yours.
What's up, Baron? Yeah, Baron's awesome. He's a great kid. Amazing. He's tall. Very tall.
Who on Trump's team okayed this? Probably his son, his family.
Good student.
Yeah. Yeah, he's very smart. I'll tell you that.
It's so funny watching how whiny, how bitchy, how hostile he was at the National Association of Black Journalists. And then he immediately goes on Adin Ross while that news cycle is still happening. He goes on Adin Ross's stream and is just having a ball.
I do want to first off.
Is
say
Baron
this,
real? Yeah.
Everyone in the chat, everyone in this room, everyone loves you. And
Including this 98-year-old woman. Joe Biden's mom is here in the back.
I just want to say you're a true hero for this country, and I really appreciate you. And yeah, I'm really thrilled we could do this.
She is dust.
I'm so happy now that I'm doing it. give me a. That's great.
I,
Gimme.
I'm so happy now that I'm doing it.
I'm so happy.
Give me a.
Gimme.
That's great.
That's good.
Do you know what live
Creepy.
streaming is on these platforms?
More or less, yeah.
Yeah.
More or less. It's the new wave.
It's the new wave. It's the new wave. I'm gonna explain it to you, all right?
They chose a bad camera angle. I'll say it. Their camera angle sucks.
Don't be rude.
He's got a lapel mic that isn't working. It's because the microphone is pointed this way. I have this microphone. The light is where the microphone is. It's just it's not pointed at his mouth.
So I'm gonna show you this chat right now. Let me show you.
Yeah,
So
he's
this
just
is a
on
live
on
chat.
stream with his
So you
granddad.
already broke
literally.
the website in 5 minutes.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Wow.
you broke it. The chat wasn't working, but we ended up fixing it. It's just very slow. Everyone in the chat say hello. You guys can put hi in the chat, and W's mean it's good. W means win. Yeah. Yep. So they're putting W's and stuff. Yep. W Trump. All right. So
Yeah, all the
Yeah.
13-year-olds are putting W Trump because they were in diapers when he was president before. I love hella young people. Even like if you're like an 18-year-old voting for Trump 24, you're like so outrageously stupid. It's awesome. You're like it is just like edgy teen contrarianism at the margins, right? It's not like a generational thing, but it still exists online, especially. And I mean, I went to school with kids that were like that. It was, granted, it's still a very conservative area. For some reason, I thought Adin Ross was a liberal. No, dude, not even close.
everyone is just super
Oh,
thrilled.
you're gonna have big ratings today.
Everyone's happy.
Yeah, I want to break 1 million. I think we could do it.
Too much money.
Didn't
think
get
so?
close. No, he didn't even break 600K. Or did he break 800? He might have gotten close at one point, but it was like 400K for the most part.
Oh, I'm excited. I'm thrilled.
Beloved leftist
Elon
Adin
actually
Ross.
already he commented on the X post that I went live already.
Well, Elon is a great guy.
Yeah, he's great.
He really-
Elon's a great guy.
Little imagination he's got, doesn't he?
yeah.
Rockets and tunnels and
Yeah.
everything. He's a fantastic guy.
He's great. So let's get started today. Let's have some fun.
Let's go.
We'll touch base on some topics, and then we'll do some fun stuff.
Sounds good.
Cool? Let's have a good. Time. All right, well, the
So awesome. They're just here to have fun. It's like a sleepover.
first thing is,
Some
the reason
topics.
why, I really wanted to make this stream happen is because there's a lot of people that are first-time voters watching today.
Why is it so fruity? Bro, these are two of the fruitiest guys in mainstream, like, media spaces, respectively. The fruitiest right-wing streamer and the fruitiest right-wing politician. What do you mean? That's why they linked up.
And I want to make it very clear to everybody that you're a human being. You're a great human being.
Yeah, he's the guy that sniffed Andrew Tate's chair. He sniffed it hard, too.
you to basically talk in this camera, talk to them and explain why.
Sickly Boy, they
it's
give you
very
the 2
important
months,
as a
by the way.
first-time
And
voter
Roma,
to
they give you the
vote
3
and
months.
why they should vote for you.
I'd love to do that, and I love having a young audience. This is young. I think you have some old
You.
too, because I also listen.
He's such a creep, bro. I love having a young audience. Yeah, I bet you do, brother.
Sort of listening and watching, but it's about the American dream. Right now, you don't have the American dream. We have
He's
a
like looking at the
country
camera.
that's
It's so
not
weird.
Respected, a country that's being laughed at, a country that just a little while ago were having a stock market explosion. in a
Mr.
negative way
President.
As opposed to a positive way. And that's been happening for quite a while. It's been simmering and really happening for quite a while. And we're going to make
Oh,
this
he just
country
put a mic
so
on
strong
him. The lapel mic didn't work. He didn't want to tell him to straighten it, so.
and so great. And when you're ready for your job, you're going to get a great job, so you can
When
make
you're ready for your job, God, he knows his audience. That's so funny. When you're ready for a job, you can have a job.
the kind of money this guy's making, maybe even more if that's possible.
I'm
Right?
trying to get like you, boss.
But you'll live your life and you'll be successful.
You'll
and
live
at a
your
young
life.
Age, it's really wonderful to think about the American dream. And with Kamala and Joe, I took him out. He was we had a debate, and the debate didn't go so well for him. And they sort of what they did, it was really a coup of somebody.
Yeah.
Oh my God. What do you, ooh, my head. Kamala. He's gonna get clapped. Sooner or later, and I mean this, he can't continue purposefully saying her name wrong. One of these days, he's gonna get corrected, whether it's live on stage, whether it's by a journalist, whether it's by Kamala herself, and it's gonna look really bad for him. Yeah, they did a coup against Joe Biden where he willfully stepped down. And again, what did you expect? You kept pointing out that he's old. Yeah, like what he should have just kept running. You say that because it's more fair for you. Like it doesn't make sense with what he was saying just 3-4 weeks ago before he even stepped down. He was literally basically saying Joe Biden should move aside. I don't know why he's still running. And now he's like, what the hell? This isn't fair.
For him, and they sort of what they did,
Yeah,
was really a
owned.
coup of somebody. He
Yeah.
had 14 million votes. He had it, and all of a sudden they went to him and they said, "We don't want you as."
There was tens of thousands of uncommitted votes. Like that enough was reason for him to step down. In swing states.
And it's sort of like a prize fight from my standpoint. You're focused on this one man,
Right.
and all of a sudden you're fighting somebody else, but she's actually worse than he is. And you're starting to see that. I think people are going to see that it's going to be very evident. So go out. We want the American dream. We're going to give you the American dream, and you're going to be real happy. Thank you.
Go out, little 13-year-olds. We're gonna give you the American dream. Thank you. I'm gonna make V-Bucks free, and you're gonna be really happy.
I have another question, and again, Mr. President, I'm not really fully into politics, but I'm getting there, and I do want to make this very clear as well. Now it's on my mind. Back when I was I went to high school in California, okay? And
Oh my God, dude. That explains so much. So did I. But it was like a rural area.
a lot of the teachers were basically at the time, this is your first term.
Yeah,
They
he
were
went to
telling
woke
me
high
how
school.
horrible person you are and all these things, and
That's so awesome. And he wanted to be a free thinker by just being like, nuh-uh, Republicans are actually good. When your teachers tell you stuff, that means that it's wrong. When they all keep saying the same thing. He looks so hurt. Oh no. They were being mean to me. It's so unfair.
the teachers, you're not supposed to do that. It's inappropriate to have teachers, discuss politics in school. But it's becoming really normal.
That's not true. That's not true. In some ways, America does enforce this, but when you're talking about like high school, he was probably talking about like government class or social studies class, like stuff that's like pretty relevant. And I don't know, maybe they didn't make themselves clear. Maybe more likely, Adin Ross didn't pay very good attention to what they were saying because he doesn't have like a quote or anything. What were they saying? Just how bad he was? Probably related to things he did or said, at least. I don't think it was just, man, he's bad and you should, like, what is this cartoon world that he grew up in? His memory, trying to like put it together, it's like a children's picture book written by a child.
For a lot of teachers, you know, and you're a kid, you know, when you're a kid, your brain is like a sponge. So,
And so you shouldn't be exposed to what adults think about politics. Like, he clearly wasn't. It's so
your thoughts on
confusing,
that,
bro.
You know, kind of the corruption in the school system in a way. You know, they're teaching some
Corruption.
pretty bad stuff in there.
It's been brainwashed to a certain extent. Even
it's
the
woke.
teachers have been brainwashed. They've learned from a long time. This is long before me. This liberal way, or now they call it progressive. They don't like the term liberal. You're not allowed to use that anymore. So
This is low key hitting on the Judeo-Bolshevism, Marxism, cultural Bolshevism type Nazi shit. Like, they're teaching it in the schools. Long before me, this has been a thing. They're becoming liberal in school. Like, the root of that is like Nazi shit, but you know, that's cool.
usually use it. But
Oh, mini
this,
F?
this liberal way that they have.
My
and
bad. Refresh.
It's a bad thing for the country. You know, we want to
A
have
bad
borders.
thing.
We want to have low taxes. We want to have great schools, really, great schools, so you can go and learn and be successful and have a wonderful life and all of that. But we want to have a good military so we can protect ourselves
Of course.
from some bad players.
How many school shootings happened under the Trump administration? It was a lot. It was like, that's like the era where it was a very regular thing. We want to have schools that you can go to learn. You're not allowed to do that anymore. Well, in one way on account of the guns, but it's so funny for Adin Ross to be like, there's this corruption in the schools where they're saying Trump is bad. Meanwhile, like, Louisiana is teaching the 10 Commandments like mandatory shit. Like, Florida's doing like mandatory Bible education now. You know what I mean? And that's like what this guy's into. So much corruption in the schools, man. Anyway.
Interesting. During my 4 years, we had no war. Other than we had nothing. Everybody was afraid we were going to have wars, and just the opposite. North Korea. I remember Barack Obama was telling me, "Oh, the biggest problem we have is North Korea." I didn't have a problem with North Korea.
No.
Dude,
Big
his
North
audio is
Korea
so
presence. I
bad.
didn't have a problem. The only war we had was already started.
So
long ago,
fucking
and that was
scuffed,
ISIS,
Adin.
and we defeated
L.
them in a very short amount of time.
I
Why are
remember
you
quickly.
using such
And
fucking
we had no
specific
wars.
microphones? Like, I get the lav not working is frustrating, but like the shotgun is not even pointed at his mouth either. He's not talking into it. Be like if I was talking like this. Except he has a noise gate on too, so it's cutting it out. No war during his administration, no new wars. It was just all preamble for war. The Abraham Accords are why October 7th happened, for example. Like, pretty directly. You know, he set the stage for war. It just didn't happen to spark during his administration. He got lucky.
That's a great thing. That's a really great thing. It was, I think, 80.
At least 300 school shootings a year during his presidency? No way that's real. Are you serious? 300? That's crazy. Yeah, he can't turn his head at all without going silent, and he's trying to talk to Adin because he's not used to streaming and looking at a computer when he's talking.
Years since that's happened. And we won't have wars again, but we could have a war before
We
even
won't
get
have
there.
wars
So,
again.
We have
That's
a
awesome.
number of months. We have 4 months, and the election's starting very soon.
Trump is not a peaceful dove. All he does is talk about building up our military. His classic line in 2020, he was like, we're out of bullets. When I first took office, we were out of ammunition on every gun. We had no bullets, and the generals came up to me and they said, sir, we have no bullets. And I said, how do we have no bullets? There were more shootings than days at school. God damn. America's so barbaric. Didn't Trump say if you didn't vote for him, Israel would cease to exist? I mean, sure. I'm sure he said that at some point. The actual reason he's here, by the way, is not just because of Barron, but it's also because Kick is run by a crypto gambling website.
Don't be rude.
Pretty openly, stake.com. And Donald Trump recently said he wanted to make Bitcoin like standard American currency or something. He said like something insane that will never, ever happen. Even if he won, he's lying. But crypto guys went insane. The guys that got rich off crypto, like the right-wing freaks that love Donald Trump right now. Like the Silicon Valley guys, Mark Zuckerberg called Donald Trump personally after he was shot to apologize for being mean to him and like banning him from Instagram or whatever. It's that $5 trillion tax cut as well. Remember that. He wants $5 trillion in tax cuts for corporations and billionaires. That's why they're all lining up to glaze him, Elon Musk included. $5 trillion, chat. It is, yeah, it's a goofy amount of money. Yeah, he went to the Nashville Bitcoin conference and calls for U.S. to be crypto capital of the planet. Former President Donald Trump on Saturday laid out his plans to wholeheartedly embrace cryptocurrency. Oh, he actually laid out specific plans? That's crazy. nearly 50-minute speech. God, he loves rambling these days. Trump repeatedly sought to contrast his support of cryptocurrency to the Biden administration's efforts to regulate it. Yeah, regulations is bad. I will never regulate it. I'll deregulate cryptocurrency. They took it away from you. Oh my God, it's like a toy. So as I take steps to transform that vast wealth into a permanent national asset to benefit all Americans, today I repeat my promise to commute the sentence of Ross Ulbricht, a Bitcoin strategic reserve, meaning the government would just buy a bunch of Bitcoin. I don't think he would do it. I literally don't think he would actually do this. I don't believe him. And crypto guys are really stupid for believing him. But the market is so speculative that it caused a bubble after he said that. And it's already bursting like right now. Like the entire economy is fucking tanking. I think as a big result of AI, layoffs, productivity is probably stagnating. And I mean, we've literally been hearing this like Trump, like 2020 Trump line over and over again. The economy's doing great. The economy's doing great. The economy's doing great. But all I hear from like actual people is that the economy fucking sucks. And it's because the top parts of the economy are doing well. The fucking Dow Jones has been doing well. The S&P average is doing well. Donald Trump would always say we have the best stock market. He would at least be honest about it and be like, the economy's good because the stock market is good. That's what they say on MSNBC, but Joe Biden doesn't say it that clearly. Like the Joe Biden administration won't say it that clearly because that's what they mean. Rich people are getting richer. That is what the economy doing good means. And now all of a sudden there's a bubble bursting and a recession is looming again because people keep getting laid off. There's already been like a mass replacement of jobs by AI that's happened so swiftly and it's not done. It's going to keep happening probably over the course of years if it's unchecked. Yeah, the Dow dropped almost 1,000. Like this morning it was like minus 999.
Soon, and I guess 5 months before you actually get in. And a lot of damage can be done in 5 months by incompetent people. We have very incompetent people right now. And I'm not saying that out of happiness. I'm saying that out of sadness because our country's in tremendous danger, not only of stock market crashes or depressions or whatever it may be. It's a tremendous military.
Fucking amateur hour, bro.
Israel's blowing up. The Middle East is blowing up.
Israel is blowing up. Well, okay. I think he had a little Freudian slip here. I think he kind of meant to say Israel's blowing up the Middle East.
Israel's blowing up. The Middle East.
And the Middle East is being blown up by Israel.
Blowing up. Russia's going wild with Ukraine. And things are out of control.
Russia's going wild.
We have nobody that knows how to talk. We have nobody.
Whose tie is longer? Definitely Trump's.
Russia was thinking about going in, and they never would have done it with me. They never, and they didn't.
It does sound like he's running back and forth in front of the mic. That's so funny.
But they never. After I got in, they started loading up the border. I thought he was doing it for negotiation purposes, and Biden said all of the wrong things, everything wrong, and ultimately they attacked, and they wouldn't have done that if I were president. So we got to get back in and get it.
They did that because of what you did while you were president. That is why.
We'll get that one worked out.
100%.
A lot of people dying.
Yeah, it's a lot of innocent lives being lost. You know, you had mentioned, the stock market crashing. I don't know if you
Fascist audio.
I saw the post you made on your app, Truth. You know, what I just saw yesterday.
Truth Social.
Before, I'm in crypto and I'm in stocks myself.
Right.
And I couldn't believe what's going on. You know, you have Japan, you have everybody just falling. And I want to ask you, how do we basically get it back up and flowing and back up and running? And, and what's causing this?
Well, right now you have no confidence. You have somebody that now is taking over from Biden because he just wants to stay in bed all day.
The people in the back are so visibly bored. Yeah, I think they started clapping because they were told to at a certain point.
He wants to stay in bed. No, it was a fraud. They tried to tell people he was competent, he knew what he was doing. And in the debate, he was adjudged to be not so good.
Yeah.
But you can go back 4 years, too. He campaigned from his basement.
It's not a green
campaign.
screen.
I said, where is this guy during COVID? They used COVID as an excuse not to let him talk.
Yeah.
The whole thing was a fraud, and everybody knew it, and they knew it strongly. And we're going to get it going again. We have to get it going again. They put us in a very bad position. The worst thing is we have probably, I think, 20 million people came into our country with open borders, and many come from prisons. And you can be a liberal.
Whose hand is that?
Put us in a very bad position.
That's literally XQC. I don't think it's in this clip, but I'll show you guys. Imagine waking up from a coma and this is the first thing you see. XQC's a grifter now. I think he's just friends with Adin Ross and wanted to be here for this. But yeah, XQC would probably do anything for a check. I feel like he would admit that. The shirt is... I don't know. The shirt is so funny. I mean, if I met Donald Trump, I could only pray to God I would be able to wear this shirt. I'll admit it takes confidence. He is the same color as his shirt. That's nuts. I used to think you shouldn't hate anyone, but I grew up and yeah, I hate all these people. I mean, I hate Adin Ross a lot more than I hate XQC. See, I hate Adin Ross mainly because he's a dick rider. That's what I find the most frustrating thing about him is he's spineless and he's a dick rider. He latches on to whoever it is in the moment, whether it's fucking Andrew Tate or Donald Trump or whatever rapper he's hanging out with and getting clout off of. He's like white DJ Academics. Seeing this makes a lot of sense. And obviously a white DJ Academics would be a right-wing grifter too. You know what I mean? It's that same mentality. He's a ride or die. He's a slut. He'll do anything. So he's like a chameleon in that way. Like I said, he's spineless. He's nothing. He's goo. You can't like get him on an ideological position or a fundamental level because he has no principles. He's nothing. He's a worm. He wants clout. He wants money. Donald Trump represents clout and money.
Prisons all over the world, not just South America, from all over the world.
He's a reactionary. Yeah, well, that's
Congo.
because it's the most profitable way to be. He is like the YouTube comments manifested as a streamer. It's just anything in the moment that feels the best. It's reactionary inherently.
Oh, in Africa, they come from all over the world. They're
What'd I say? You hit the Africa line. They're coming from Africa.
coming, and they're releasing their
He's
prisoners
mewing.
into the United States. Now, you can be a liberal guy, you can be progressive as anybody in the world, and you can't think that's a positive thing. They're coming out of mental institutions.
That's
They're
crazy.
pouring into the United States, and they're hurting and damaging our country, and they're killing our people, and the crime rate.
You can't think it's good that people come here.
With what you're talking about and what we're talking about, we call it migrant crime. It's a new form of crime, and it's a very violent crime.
It's not.
And it's
the lowest percentage of crime per capita because immigrants don't come here to do crime. They come here to do work, which a lot of people would say is kind of the opposite of crime.
Going to take on proportions the likes of which this country has never seen before. And remember, these people are just getting accustomed.
Why wouldn't you let
people
Barron
coming out of
collab?
mental
True.
institutions, prisons and
fucked up.
jails, and many terrorists. We're having record numbers of terrorists coming in.
Yeah, that's also a lie. So is the prisons and mental institutions.
So I'm talking, I assume, mostly to a young audience, but a young audience, no matter where they're coming from, they can't be happy about this.
No, they can't. Jobs are being taken. A lot of
Drugs.
crime.
Not true. Not true. What did I tell you? They're hitting the South Park line. It's so insane. Like, this has got to be such... It's got to be older than this. Yeah, like 12 years ago.
First the money started going, and now everyone's getting laid off work. They took our jobs. They took our jobs.
Like, how the fuck are we back to this? This is so old. How are we just straight back to this? This is bullshit. It was not true then, and it's not true now.
Crime, fix that issue. What if I happen to be born in another country and I want to come the right way? How would that work?
Well, that's what we want. We want people to come in.
Yeah.
They have to come
What's
into
the process?
system,
How do you
the
do that
legal
then?
system. And, one of the things that's unfair is we have hundreds of thousands of people that have applied to come in, and this administration doesn't talk to them.
Right.
But if they walk through the
What?
southern
They
border, they have
don't?
no problem getting in. I don't
Right.
even know why they're doing this, but
It has nothing to do... That's so funny. If you actually, like, properly funded and, like, reformed the immigration system, you could fix that. But instead, you want to do the way more expensive and brutal and totalitarian option of mass deporting people who are already here.
some people are waiting 10 years to come in, and they've studied, they learned all about the United States, about our Constitution, about everything, and
Right.
they're not being let in, and we're allowing people to come in from
Yeah, maybe get rid of all that stupid-ass shit then. It's pointless. How much does Adin Ross know about the fucking Constitution?
places, really bad places, and they come in through caravans, and these caravans have 10, 20, 30,000 people, and they're
Wow.
pouring through Mexico.
It's crazy.
And Mexico was great when I was there.
Crazy.
They were helping us. I had stay in Mexico. You can imagine what that is. That means you have to stay in Mexico. You can't come into this country until we approve you. They gave it up. Now they just walk right in. They
Yeah,
had
he made legal immigration harder too, which Republicans also do all the time. 30,000, 20 million, who cares?
Catch and release. Says you catch a criminal and you release him into our country. I said, no. We catch a criminal and we release him into Mexico. I think you feel better about that.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
it's one of those things. There's so many things.
Isn't Adin Ross a moderator in Travis Scott's unofficial Discord that's full of racism and homophobia? I don't know about Travis Scott's unofficial Discord or Travis Scott's official Discord.
They are so bad. It's like amateur night. It's either
Amateur
amateur
night.
night or they want to destroy our country.
Right, right.
I wonder why he had amateur hour on the fucking brain. That phrase is very specific. I happen to use that same phrase when describing the audio of the stream.
Do you-
Throw in a couple more microphones for good measure. Yeah, just get 1, 2 more in there. Get a boom on top.
What do you think about what's going on in Venezuela? The whole situation
That's
out there.
awesome.
Well,
yeah.
I know it very well. And Venezuela
Get an
is
official
right now,
statement out.
being run by a dictator. We were enemies with Venezuela. Venezuela was going to collapse, and people could have gone back to Venezuela. They're in our country now. They've released tremendous numbers of criminals into our country. If you look at Caracas, it was known for being a very dangerous city, and now it's very safe. In fact, the next interview we'll do it in Caracas, Venezuela, because it's
I'm
safer
down.
than many of our cities after they've released their criminals into all of our cities.
Yeah,
He sounds like a fly.
And I'm kidding.
I know.
The reason I have to say that because the fake news media knows that too, but they'll say, he suggested they go to Venezuela. They are so bad, it's hard to believe. But anyway, so
What?
Venezuela, their crime is down 72%.
You said we were enemies. He was talking about his administration. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he's saying Joe Biden is actually a friend to Venezuela.
Because they've taken their criminal elements,
he's woke.
which are large. It was a very dangerous place, especially Caracas and the different cities. And they've moved them into the United States of America. I know you're very happy. I know that your mother and father must be thrilled when they hear that.
Yeah.
Who happen to be here, I believe.
They are. They're right over there. Hey, Mom. Hey, Dad.
Are you thrilled with what they're doing? I don't think so. I don't think
They don't know what he said. They can't hear him.
they're thrilled. I don't think so.
Don't be
Oh,
rude.
that's a little pump. I just realized that's a little pump. Little pimp.
Their crime rate is down 72%.
Right.
Because they're drug dealers, they're criminals, they're murderers, they're rapists. Everything's being moved into the United States. And soon they will have moved all of their criminals into the U.S. They won't have crime.
All of them.
So that's why I say
They
we'll go
won't
to
have
Venezuela
criminals
for our next
anymore.
interview. Okay. It's a very serious problem. I mean, honestly,
so
what they're
awesome.
doing to this country, they're destroying our country, Aiden.
They're running out of
destroying
criminals.
Stupid people. He's not a smart man. He wasn't smart 35 years ago. He wasn't smart 20 years ago. And now he's really not.
No more crime in Mexico. They ran out.
And you saw that from the debate. I mean, he's really gone down the tubes. And she couldn't even pass her law exam. She couldn't pass her bar exam. And I'm not saying that because I know other people didn't pass their bar exam, but she thought she'd never be able to pass it. And this is who we have running our country.
He said
It's a
this
shame.
again. That's
She's
just not true. What?
her bar exam. And I'm not saying that because I know other people didn't pass their bar exam, but she thought she'd never be able to pass it. And this is who we
But
have
she
running
did.
our country. It's a shame. She's ultra left, ultra right.
Yeah, it doesn't have it's like less than 40% or something actually pass it the first time. It's very hard to pass a California bar the first time.
Radical. I just see where 99 vicious terrorists, when she was, I guess, Attorney General, because she was Attorney General in California, she destroyed California. Her policies have destroyed California. Her policies, when she was the district attorney, have destroyed San Francisco. San Francisco.
So you're telling me they're still doing? She was district attorney of San Francisco like years and years and years ago. So what they're still doing all those same things? And he also donated to her when she ran for attorney general.
It was the best city in our country 20 years ago, and now it's not even
That's the gayest thing Trump has ever said.
frankly it's not even livable. We have to bring our cities back. We're gonna have to focus on bringing our cities back.
It's actually really sad. I lived in California for a long time. Even Los Angeles, it's not safe. It's not safe. Everyone I know that lives in multi-million-dollar homes that do what I do, content, they're getting robbed. They're getting robbed. The police don't really
No.
they're not active out there as they are in some other states, and it's really sad. And I agree.
Oh, so it's the police.
saw a video in San Francisco where people just walk into a Louis Vuitton and an Apple store and just loot, and leave like nothing ever happened. It's
Yeah, there was some organized crime rings. That was organized crime. And that shit was being resold on Amazon sometimes, on eBay. And there was like leaders of it and shit that were like, in one case, there was a makeup one. It was an Ulta and Sephora beauty ring that was run by a fucking white couple that were landlords in LA. It's just stupid. It's just so stupid. It's literally just like, A, it's not even happening anymore. It was like a specific era with a specific story behind it. And B, all that stuff's insured. I don't care about looting. I just don't. It's just not something that matters to me at all. He's like, they stole from Louis Vuitton. Bro, what are we doing right now? How are you going to be like, as Donald Trump, the working class guy, while also being like, it's terrible stealing from the Apple store? The sanctity of property, I think, is the first step America takes to dehumanize other people. Like, that's how they teach you. They teach you that property is more valuable than people's lives or their livelihoods. And at the end of the day, it just doesn't fucking matter that much. Like, to create an iPhone, it requires multiple levels of stealing. You are buying a stolen product on so many moral and legal levels that are, you know, of course, masqueraded as different things. The countries that extract minerals don't have the same laws as America. So it's okay that it's child labor or forced slave labor. So if you're trying to tell me that stealing that is a bad thing, I'm not going to really care that much. I'm sorry. Now, stealing from a small business owned by someone in your community is completely different.
Crazy.
They loot, and not only that, they have like $1,000 or $1,500, where she started, where she won't even prosecute if it's less than $1,500.
Wow.
So you see these people go in with like calculators, and they're adding the stuff that they're stealing because they won't be prosecuted. So that if they get nabbed, they say.
I mean, that was a way to cut down on the cash and release type shit he complains about, which led to a lot of people in and out of like local jails, led to a lot of jail impact. I mean, cops were getting annoyed with having to get called to arrest people for stealing, you know, $10 worth of shit. But, you know, now corporations just don't. They choose not to do anything until they can charge you with a felony, which is, I believe it's $1,500 or $1,200. They catch you over a series of different times, and then they can make a pattern with surveillance footage.
No, it's less than whatever it is, $1,000.
Yeah, Target does that, Walmart
and she
does that.
started the concept of that, and it's now spreading. Our country, we need strong leadership.
Okay, finally, he's manifesting somewhat of an attack line, saying that like Kamala is the reason that the, you know, looting law changed. They could use a lot of scary footage of crimes that don't happen anymore from like 3 or 4 years ago and say that, I guess. That's probably the next line of attack. Trump likes to do this. He experiments, and this sounds like something he would latch on to, or something he's been workshopping, I feel like.
We didn't have stuff like this. You know,
Yeah, he's going to say Kamala endorses looting, more or less.
when you look at
Which
what's
is
happened
racially,
to this country, and
charged
you look at
anyway.
other countries, crime rates all over the world are down. You know why? Because they're all dumping their bad people.
It's such bullshit. It's such childish bullshit. It's not true. That's crazy. Crime is going down all over the world because all of the criminals are here now. Everything he says is racially charged. No, I was saying specifically the term looting is racially charged. So him weaponizing it would be double racially charged.
prisoners and all of the people that are bad. Not only the people.
All of the people that are bad. First of all, Donald Trump should be in prison. Drone strikes alone. He did more drone strikes in 4 years than Obama did in 8. He directly assassinated Qasem Soleimani. He should be in super prison. Also, you know, rapist. You are watching the way that many men like to forget that reality. It just, it doesn't come up, the pedophile rape that he's done.
On the streets of people that are in jails. You know what they save by doing that? But they're dumping their prisoners and their criminal elements. They're dumping them into the United States of America. And our crime is going to go through the roof. It's going to go through the roof.
They're dumping them.
If we win, and I
Crime is down. Crime is still down. It's such a transparent scare tactic that I don't even know if it'll work.
hope we win. We should win. We seem to be winning, and you can't even imagine that anybody would want these. This has nothing to do with me. Who would want these people? But can you imagine? They're just getting comfortable now, and they're criminals, so they're sort of laying low a little bit now because they're not comfortable. But soon they'll be comfortable, and they'll find that our police they're great.
Yeah.
But they're not allowed to do their job. They're not allowed to be strong, and they could do their job if they were but if they do their job.
Yeah, he's saying cops aren't allowed to be strong. Saying this in the wake of Sonia Massey's fucking disgusting, and the media is allowing many to forget that even happened, by the way. Not allowed to do their job. Where? Fucking where, dude?
They have their pension knocked out. They have their car taken away, their family taken away, their house taken away. Everything's taken away, and they lose their job.
Oh, yeah, if they do the right thing, they lose their job.
It's a very rough thing.
What's he talking about? He's signaling Derek Chauvin. He's got to be. That's the most relevant one. He literally said their family taken away. Derek Chauvin's wife famously divorced him in the immediate aftermath of the video being publicized. His source is always, I made it the fuck up.
Their house taken away, everything's taken away, and they lose their job. It's a very rough thing being a policeman today, I'll tell you. But they could do the job.
I really hope. Like, there's a lot of
Yeah,
eyes
but
on this. A lot more eyes than Adin Ross is understanding in spheres that Adin Ross has no idea even exist on the internet. Again, right-wing echo chambers have fundamentally stunted the ability of many right-wingers online and reactionary people in general to perceive themselves as weird as they are. Like, they have lost the plot. They do not have a baseline that normal people have in general. They think they are the default. And so, as mainstream media, which is already starting, Hassan predicted this, but, you know, mainstream media is going to be pouring through Adin Ross's history, the things he's said and done before. Insane, unacceptable shit. That's all going to be pointed at Donald Trump. Yeah, showing porn to his fan base of minors, for example. Also, yeah, Hassan pointed out, so Adin Ross gifted him a Rolex and a Cybertruck wrapped with the picture of him with the fist in the air. Hassan rightfully called out, you can't give, and a donation and a gift are literally the same thing as far as the FEC is considered. As an individual, you can't gift anyone something worth more than $3,300. The Rolex instantly breaks that. The Cybertruck obviously breaks that. But obviously, Adin Ross's fans don't understand. They can't read. The obvious loophole is that Stake is giving these things to him, and corporations have no cap on donations because America is corrupt. That is how America is corrupt. It's very obvious, open, transparent. You can look it up. But the problem is, legally, Adin Ross saying this is a gift from me is the problem. They're just openly using a campaign loophole. You can't just individually give a presidential candidate $1 million. That doesn't seem fair, right? But if you're a corporation, then it doesn't matter. And then, yeah, all of Adin Ross's fans are like, it's not a donation, it's a gift from a friend to a friend. They're just friends. You can't give gifts, but donations in the millions is okay. It's a personal gift, not a campaign donation. Like, it's considered a donation. It's a monetary gift. Intro to politics for a lot of people. Yeah. This demographic on the internet is so funny. They just love the r slur. Yeah. Well, it's funny, you see. It's a really good way to know when someone's, like, completely wrong. It's so funny. Like, why are they have to use the r slur? They're so angry, but, like, you're wrong. Like, you are literally uneducated on this, on how the FEC looks at this situation legally. But they have to use the R word. They have to. It's crazy. It's literally being like, agony. Yes, I'm wrong. The R slur is so hot right now. Yeah, with the like biggest morons on the internet.
Have to let them do their job. We have a crime-infested nation. We're a drug-addicted nation, and we're a crime-infested nation.
Imagine saying this about the United States of America and just expecting to get votes, I guess. We're drug-infested and crime-infested. People don't usually like that.
Infested nation. We're a drug-addicted nation, and we're a crime-infested nation. Other than that, we're doing quite well.
Yeah. I want to move topics a little bit here. You know, I saw, I'm unfamiliar with exactly what it was called. You were speaking on stage with 3 other women, and you just got ambushed. They were late, and not a hi, hello, how are you? Just straight into it, just straight trying to rip you apart. And I think you handled it pretty well, but I wanted to ask you a question, like, why do you think, like, they just straight up do that for you, but then they're going to ask the other side, what's your favorite flavor of ice cream?
That's right. Well, I did this as a favor. This was the black journalists. The room had maybe 2,000.
Oh, he's whining about the...
Like
oh, no.
Me, but whatever it was packed.
Yeah.
And I did it because I thought it was a good thing to do. And they had a journalist, I didn't know who she was, but she was nasty. She was a terrible person. And I walk in, and instead of saying, hello, thank you very much for doing this, they also said, Kamala's going to...
Kamala, he's getting worse. He's doing it on purpose. He can't keep doing this.
But then Kamala said, she wants to do it because she can't talk to people. She can't answer questions. She hasn't done one interview. You know, she's not doing any interviews.
Yeah.
Because if she did one interview where hard questions, she's incapable of answering it. But I walk in, and this woman starts talking about, she talked about, let's get rid of the elephant in the room. And she starts talking about racism and everything. I said, you didn't even say hello to me. And I'm doing them a favor by doing this. I'm doing this out of respect to the black community. And we're getting record numbers, as you know, in the black community.
So out of respect, why did you start immediately bitching? Yeah, he was only there because he loves black people so much. That's the only reason. He was doing them a favor because he likes them so much.
came across, she's with ABC Fake News, which is one of the worst. ABC is one of the worst.
Right.
And she is horrible. So she was very nasty. Harris Faulkner was there. She was excellent. The other person I didn't know, she was okay. I wouldn't say she was great, but she was okay. But I did it.
He's just ranking. I did it. He's ranking them based on how nice they were to him.
And it was quite a sensation. Actually, a lot of people think it was well handled. The woman
Oh, that's
was
rough.
so rude
So rude.
that, it's hard to believe. You can walk into a thing, and I do him a favor, and I do.
Adin Ross is a yes man to whoever his new daddy is. That's his phenotype. That's his personality. She was just doing her job. She was literally asking a relevant question. Was not rude. And you'd be surprised how far yes men get, I think, in the world. They get far.
Do this. Most people said, "Why are you doing it?" I feel I have an obligation to do it. I want to look you become the president for all of the people,
Right.
not for a certain segment.
Correct.
Not even for just my, they talk about my base. It's a very big base. But you become president for all of the people. So I feel you have an obligation to do that. Now, she's not doing anything. She's not doing any interviews because I don't believe she's capable. She starts, I don't know, she's strange. The whole thing is strange. Let's put it this way. Our country's in big trouble.
Yeah. I spoke to your
that's
son,
facts.
Don Jr., when I met you in Doral.
Don
Right.
Jr.
I spoke to Don Jr. a little bit. He said, "Man, I feel for the the young generation. You guys are look at this. Look what's going on here. It's like you need these next 4 years. If not, I don't." He's like, "I don't know how well the country's going to do after these 4 years."
I don't think it survives. I really don't.
Damn.
Look, we're going to have 20 million people in by the time this election takes place. 20 million people. That's bigger than New York State. Many of those people are people that you should not have, and we're all for everything. All men are created equal, as the expression goes. Right?
Of course.
And now today they say all men and women are
Yeah.
created equal.
Now they say all men and women. They changed it.
Slightly different time. Today, it's that alone is a politically incorrect
Yeah.
statement.
Yeah, it
right?
is.
So all men and
It
women
is.
are created equal, everything. But the fact is, when
Yeah,
you're
saying all men are created equal is politically incorrect. He's awesome. And he just goes, yeah, it is, boss. Yeah.
dumping all of these criminals and all of these
Got nothing in his going on in his head.
all of these people into our country, you're really hurting our country badly, and it has to be. We have to take very strong measures.
We definitely do. We definitely do. Moving to the next. Oh.
Oh, I didn't know they were allowed to applaud. That's
Yeah, they're allowed to applaud. You guys can keep applauding.
all right. That's good. Common sense, right? It is about common sense. I mentioned that term because whether you're conservative, liberal, it's
So awesome.
It's all about
Weaponizing common sense like this is not a great move for right wingers because it ends up just being a buzzword to them because they don't actually know how to apply it. Their common sense is, there's immigrants here, so we have to mass deport 20 million people. We have to create a new arm of the police state. We have to let ICE do door knocking raids and rip families apart to deport them. Common sense. He's like, why aren't they applauding more? True.
common sense.
It is.
Yeah, I have a feeling they were mostly told to clap because it was weird.
You want to have good education. You want to have borders. You want to have low interest rates. Be able to buy a house. You want to, so many
course.
different things. But you got to have common sense. And we're run by people. And just a little thing. When I started campaigning, almost like 8 years ago, I talked about Merry Christmas. We should have Merry Christmas again. Let's bring back Merry Christmas.
Yes! It's only August and we're doing War on Christmas, baby. They used to say Merry Christmas,
You weren't allowed to say Merry Christmas. I got it back. Yeah.
but he got it back. That's why we say it now. Thank you,
crowd,
Mr.
huh?
President.
Even if you're Jewish, they like to say Merry Christmas. Every
And he got it back.
one of my Jewish friends say we love Merry Christmas.
I'm
And-
Jewish. I love Merry
Good,
Christmas.
and
too.
Kamala doesn't. Kamala,
She doesn't like
no,
it?
She doesn't want. She doesn't want you to use Merry Christmas.
Wow.
She thinks it's insulting to you.
Dude, that's so crazy. That is so crazy. It's insulting to use, he says. She has never said
She doesn't
that.
like
no,
it?
She doesn't want. She doesn't want you to use Merry Christmas.
Wow.
She thinks it's insulting to use Merry Christmas. So we'll have to work on her.
I wanted to ask you a question. Speaking of, you said something about common sense. Someone who has no common sense.
That's
Joe
insane.
Biden. Do you think he was pushed out, or do you think he made the decision to step down?
No, he was no.
Merry Christmas, everybody. I know this is a very different Christmas than we're used to. but it is a time to still greet each other, to see each other, and to celebrate each other.
And I know everyone has their traditions that
And,
they normally
yeah, her
do
husband
each
is
year,
Jewish, too.
and they're going to be different this year. I know, we have our tradition.
Yeah, I
We
know.
have our famous brunch that we do with our family, and we're not going
Yeah.
to be able to do that this year.
My biggest piece of advice to the Kamala Harris campaign, and this has to make this, they have to keep this. They can't listen, guys. They have to listen to me. You have to add Kamala Harris and clip this. Just keep Dougie away from the cameras. Keep Dougie out. Keep Dougie away from the media. Doug Emhoff is a charisma suck. He's awful. And having him out in public would give the Republicans too much ammo. Kamala Harris has had a lot more media training since this time. She's a lot better than she used to be. That is what a lot of people have noticed since the transition from Joe Biden's campaign to Kamala Harris's 2024 campaign.
Only pushed out. It was a coup. I'm telling you. They went in to see him. He did badly. The debate was a disaster.
It was horrible.
Okay. I don't know if I was brilliant or if he was horrible. Maybe it was a combination of both.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
I know one thing. They were saying after I left, they said, that was one of the greatest debate performances we've ever seen. And then 2 days later, they just said he was terrible.
Right.
They never gave. They
Right.
took away the great debate performance stuff.
Yeah.
But anyway, but no, I mean, I did fine, and he is, he shouldn't have, look, he's done tremendous damage to our country. He was
Drop
a terrible president. He was the worst president we've ever had. She's, by the way, considered the most unpopular vice president we've ever had. But she's she's worse than he is. I actually think he's smarter than her, and I think he's a really not smart person. But I think he's smarter than she is.
That
But
says a
she
lot.
was convenient. She was there. They have better people. I mean, they have much better. In fact, all of the people that she's looking at are considered much better than her. These were people that were thinking about running. They would have run, except that they didn't want to
She's only unpopular because of Joe Biden's unpopularity.
go through this roadblock with her, and because you're the vice president. So they wanted to go pick them, and I think virtually every one of them is considered better, smarter.
He does miss Biden.
Would be a better president than her.
Oh,
But
okay. So he endorses the VP picks. That's good to know.
we can't allow her to be president. She's going to destroy our country.
But all the VP
Ruin
picks
it.
are good,
I mean,
actually.
Already, it's ridiculous what she's saying.
And by the way, the
Like
youth
what, brother? Like what? All the stuff she, all of it. It's ridiculous.
is so important because youth tends to be Democrat, and as they get older, they become Republican. It's what's happening.
That is a myth, by the way. That's not true. The baby boomer generation was Republican from the time they were in college. They were more pro-Vietnam War than any other demographic at the time.
We can't wait 50 years. We can't. Make the move now. All of you young people, and he's got a lot of them. All I know is my kids say, Dad, you have no
Yeah, old people love to say that.
idea how big this interview is. So I said, don't tell me that. But make the move now. Don't wait 50 years.
Oh my God.
Our country doesn't have 50 years.
What is this thumbnail, bro?
We-
That is so creepy. Why did he do that to him? Why did they do this? You just get more racist the older you get? No, that's not true at all. I've met so many racist young people, and I've met so many old people that are not racist at all. They're in fact very progressive. Progressivism is a lot older in America than like the fucking MAGA movement or even the modern Republican Party. Yeah, Adin Ross is a great example of how, yeah, getting older doesn't make you more racist. In many cases, it makes you less racist. My grandma was at Woodstock 69 in the Vietnam War protests in D.C. Can I get a W, Grandma? W in the chat for that chatter's grandma. I love how this was pretty much 20 straight minutes of Donald Trump talking basically all of his normal talking points. And that was it. I guess I did hear this part live. He broke down the time where he got shot, but it was, the same thing he's been saying over and over again, even though he said he would never say it. He said he would never talk about it again.
Ross have such a weird smile on the whole time?
I think because he knows he's getting clouded up from this, but I think it's going to end up backfiring before too long. Enjoy it while it lasts, I guess.